There we go. Actually, there's a little bit of a debate here about whether you would want to model the top of the can or not, because if you went with a texture alone for the top of the can, you could model it open or shut, and you wouldn't have to remodel accordingly. So we'll address that later. In the meantime, we have that rim accurately modeled. And another thing, as a final step, we should select everything. So deselect all, and then select all. And then normals, recalculate outside. This is important because a lot of the time when you're adding faces, your normals end up facing inward. So then when you import into your game or your simulation or what have you, the result is that many of them don't turn up because the faces are programmed to display the textures to the inside, which means they end up transparent, which is not usually what you want. So here we have the top of the can modeled anyway. Now, the bottom of the can is a little bit more complicated. We'll go to the front view again here, and we'll pan down with the control cursor keys here. When I looked at the can itself, the crimp, if you will, I don't know if crimp is really the word, the indentation on this rim is almost exactly in the middle of this. So this part can be modeled very easily, I think. Personal opinion. If we right-click, shift right-click, and then loop cut and slide again, we can leave it as this and go to the, oops, I didn't want to go back view. I wanted to go to the bottom view. Okay, bottom view. Then we can scale it down, not radically so. Actually, it seems like you could almost go, well, let's take another look at this. Look at the front. Yeah, so if we scale this, this is not perfectly to scale, but it's close enough. Again, this is not an engineering application, so it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. Although, having said that, looking at this again, I'm going to move this out a little bit. I'm not sure how to do this. Give me a second. Okay, there it is. That's where it should be. Front view. Yeah, it needs to be up slightly. Scaled in slightly. Down slightly. Yeah, that's roughly what it looks like. Still don't like how that looks from there. Oh no, wait, I'm looking at the can now. That actually is exactly how it's supposed to look. I take it back. Okay, now, this face on the bottom should be removed now because we're going to modify it. So select that face and delete. Actually, I should save my work at this point too. Playing it safe as always. Okay. This edge here, we'll go back to vertex select again. If I select this, I'm going to want to extrude this out to complete the inner rim. The inner rim on the bottom of the can is much thicker than at the top of the can. I'll show you why in a minute, but I'm going to skip ahead in the video while I select these. Here we are at the bottom view again. I'm going to extrude these, and roughly they should go in, well, the new vertices should go in about 50%. Well, basically 100% of the width of the outer lower rim. See this? So this part here should be symmetrical, roughly. So I'll go to the bottom view again, and this again will be imperfect, but if we extrude edges only, that is, as before, far from perfect, but I've extruded now successfully, and what I can do, I'll move this back into position, zoom in. Okay, that's close enough. I will now scale this down. I'm only eyeing it here, but that should be correct. Let's take a look. Yes, okay. So then if I... Oh, no, wait. No, it's not. Okay, scale a little more. Yeah, and now, left view. Now this has to go up. See that? Look at the bottom again. See how it looks? It looks pretty much exactly how it's supposed to look. So now what do we do? Well, now we create that bottom face again. And we do it as we did with the top face. Create an edge. Connect the edge. Now, this is important. You have to take a bottom view. No, it's not done correctly. Always check your work. Mesh. See, it has to be straight across. That's the issue. And actually, I think I can do that here without worrying about selecting the right vertex. Let's take a look at this again. Yeah. Okay, good. Bottom. Create the edge. Subdivide. See, this is one of the reasons I don't think they should have removed the background image feature from Blender, because when I created that empty object there, this now gets in the way whenever I'm trying to see my work. Anyway, select this with right click, select this vertex with the right click, but with shift, select this vertex with the shift right click, F, and I have the face. So I'm going to fill these in, jumping ahead in the video. Okay, you can see I filled in the bottom of the can here. Now, the real can has a bottom that's slightly indented. If we go to the front view, I can recreate this basically by pulling this center vertex up to here. See? Although, I'm going to measure to make sure that I am going deep enough. So we'll save the work. We go to the front view. This is more or less as it is on the real can. So this indentation goes roughly up to the rectangular part of the can here. Not rectangular. This goes roughly up to the maximum width part of the can, broad center part. Now, it is very rounded on the real one. It's, I think, a matter of opinion how much you want to curve this, so that you don't have this sharp little point here. If you really want to be perfectionist, you can do this. So the vertex, shift right click. I don't think I tried loop cut and slide on this. For some weird reason it doesn't work. But what I can do, subdivide, and then repeat it around the edge. You'll have to excuse me while I do that. I'm going to skip ahead in the video. I'll actually have to finish in the next one.